My name is Wale Tejumade, and by way of introduction, I'm a speaker, I'm a life coach, I'm an HR professional, and a management consultant. I'm also a pastor. Okay, so I'm privileged to pastor a church here in the city of Regina called Lofty Heights Christian Center. On Instagram, if you go at my Lofty Heights after this session, you'd be able to connect to our ministries and all that God does through us. If you go on YouTube and search Lofty Heights Christian Center, you'd also find, tons of messages in there, that would greatly bless your life. Okay, so please, when you're doing that, don't also forget to click the subscribe button. I live in the city of Regina, in a province called Saskatchewan here in Canada, with my wife and my children. I moved to Canada in the year 2016, precisely October 13th, 2016. That at the point when I was making that decision, was one of the toughest that I've ever made. And I actually had reasons not to make the decision, but with the benefit of hindsight, you see, that's one of the best decisions I've ever made in my life, outside marrying my wife and outside the salvation of my soul. All right, so I established this platform called Immigrant and Thrive. Simply because I realized that what you find or what many people are interested in is basically about how to, leave their home country, and move to another country. There is a, what do you call it now? There is a slogan or a toga, that people use so frequently these days. They call it Japa. And Japa is a Yoruba, word that simply means to run away. And Japa in, or running away, as the case may be, is not enough. That's the reason why you find that when you get to a place like this, that some are thriving much more than the others are thriving. So for me, I think it is much, your desire should be just much more than running away, or much more than japaing. I think your desire should also be how to thrive when you eventually get to the land of your dreams. When you run away from your home country and you get to where you're, coming to. In the last episode of Immigrant and Thrive, I did share that my research has, revealed to me, that the relationship between people planning to immigrate and not planning on how to flourish or thrive in the land, can be likened to the relationship between, a guy and a babe, planning for the wedding day, not planning for their marriage. Wedding day is barely 24 hours event. Your married life is going to take you like forever until death, does you guys part, or until Jesus returns, right? So the same way many people plan, do all sorts of stuff to make sure they have a fantastic, phenomenal wedding celebration, which is not bad. And many fail to give so much cognizance or effort into what would happen when they eventually get married. I'm of the opinion that it is the same thing with so many people who desire to immigrate without planning on what is going to happen to them after they landed, where they're immigrating to. So on this edition, I want to share with you on how to advance your career as an immigrant in a foreign land, specifically maybe a place like Canada, which I am. I'm picking on this subject simply because I feel that many would also desire to travel. The lack of clarity and lack of direction, the uncertainty, in what becomes of their career is what is holding many people back. I'm of the opinion that many who desire to travel, who are thriving in what they're doing right now, some of them too, have taken in and have, taken in so much of negativity, all sorts of things that people share on how you'd have to be washing dead bodies, you'd have to be doing, brown collar jobs, and now you will not find a job, and things like that. But you see, those things, they're not truth. Or let me put it this way, they are not absolute truth. There are so many things, that people are not sharing with you. So you take that, for example, at the back of your mind. Let's just say, for example, you work in, say, a banking industry or banking organization, wherever place you may be living right now, and you desire to move. Maybe you're on a $400,000, 400,000 naira or 400,000, let me use Nigeria, 400,000 naira, salary per month. It's normal for you to begin to think, so how do I abandon, or how do I leave behind 400,000 naira every month for a place that I know nobody and where I'm not certain what's going to become of my career? So that is why I feel that this session is necessary. So without further ado, I will just, dive into it fully this moment. I'm not going to take too much of your time. All right. I'd like you to please connect this or share this with your friends and your loved ones. If you can tag someone who you feel, needs to be a part of this, needs to hear this, someone that you feel, desires to travel, and the person is also uncertain, the way some of you currently connected to this, telecast are right now. Please have them connect. Now, I've gone a step further to do this. I'm going to begin with this. I'm going to begin by sharing with you why people don't thrive in their careers when they immigrate. Whether in Canada or outside Canada. I'm a career coach. I'm an HR professional. So I think I have the authority, to be able to share a bit, based on my experiences and, things that I've been exposed to in respect to career for a prospective, immigrant. So why don't people thrive when they get, to a foreign land? Why don't they thrive? Why do you find someone who, was doing so well in their home country, and they come to a place like Canada, US, UK, or whatever, and they begin to settle for less? A couple of things are responsible for that particular, state. And I'm going to run through them with you very shortly. Number one is lack of foresight. Lack of planning. You see, listen to this very carefully. I've seen people who landed in this country, Canada, without any clarity, no foresight, no planning as to their career progression. These are the categories of people who are more particular about just leaving their home country and running outside their home country to a better place, thinking that the moment you land in here, everything will just become easy peasy for you. Everything all rosy. As a matter of fact, you can be walking on the streets of your new country, and just be picking money on the floor. Lack of foresight, lack of planning. That's one fundamental reason, why people don't thrive in respect to their career here. As a career-minded person, you should not begin to think about your career progression when you get here. As a matter of fact, as you are planning, sending in your applications, filling in your forms, doing your researches on what province to attend, on what country to go to, on how you can go about your stuff, on how long the process is going to take. If you're a very serious person and your career is, very precious to your heart, I don't think anybody needs to tell you that you need to have career goals. Many wait before they get into this place, before they begin to think, so what becomes of my career? Okay, so what do I do with my life? No. That's one reason why people don't thrive in respect to their career, in a foreign land. Lack of foresight, lack of planning. Like I said, concerning the case of the person getting married, you're planning for the wedding day. You're not planning for the marriage, for your married life. Number two reason that I've discovered why people don't thrive in a foreign land, career-wise. Overestimation or underestimation of expectations. Overestimation or underestimation of expectations. So I think many people also have this very false mindset that, oh, because, they are so, you've got tons of certifications, so many qualifications, you know so many things, you're so experienced. So when you get over here, people will just, jobs to jobs be landing, on your laps. That's overestimation. Underestimation in this case may be someone who does not even understand what the reality of things are on ground. This is one of the things that affect, immigrants in respect to their careers in a foreign land. Whether it is Canada or not Canada, it's inconsequential at this moment. Overestimation or underestimation of expectations. So when realities begin to come, you would realize that their expectations sometimes are way above the reality confronting them. Some other times you would see their expectations are way below the realities confronting them. So the one that realities, are now way above expectations, that person feels frustrated. That person feels not good enough. The one who feels, underestimated, who underestimated everything, by the time things are coming up, for this kind of a person, there is no gusto, there is no drive to even push. Third thing that I know that affect career or infringe or, impede career advancement in the lives of immigrants, in Canada is lack of confidence. Many don't believe in themselves. You see, a thoroughbred professional, it does not matter if you're in Canada, you're in the US, you're in whatever. If you're a thoroughbred professional, anywhere you find yourself will seem like a home. I'm not saying that there may not be times, seasons of challenges, maybe just picking up one or two jobs just do on the side and all those stuff. Those may come. But it's sad that many people, even though they say to themselves that they desire to advance their career, they lack self-confidence. Many don't believe enough in themselves. So when you get to a place like this, and you lack self-confidence, for example, you're a senior manager where you're coming from, but maybe all the while, and as things, are going, as things are progressing, over here, you'd realize that even though you were a senior manager where you were coming from, but because you lack confidence, in yourself, what happens? You begin to see, an admin officer or admin clerk role as something that you should run after. I'm of the opinion that if in your home country, you paid the price to attain the height that you've attained in your career path, you're not likely to have too many hurdles to run over when you get here. Again, I'm not saying that, that there may not be teething period. I'm not saying that there may not be teething phase for you. That's not what I'm saying. But I'm saying that if you are a thoroughbred professional, you went to school, you did not cut corners. You did interviews for the jobs that you did. You went through it. You went tooth and nail, you fought. All the certifications and the qualifications that you had, you threw your all into them. You are indeed very enthusiastic, about your career path. When you get to a place like this, you would realize that, that the difference between you and whoever you find here would be what they would call, local experience. The difference may not be in terms of expertise or skills. It may just be difference in terms of, you don't have Canadian experience. Or you don't have a UK experience. You don't have a US experience. That's the difference. Number 4 thing that I know that impedes people's, capacity or ability, to thrive in respect to their career here, it's the hustler's mentality. The hustler's mentality. Many have the hustler's mentality. You just want to do whatsoever thing that comes. See, there are categories of jobs here called survival jobs. And I keep sharing this with everyone who cares to listen all the time. These classes or class of jobs They call them survivor jobs simply because that's exactly what they are. And a hustler mentality is the reason why a thoroughbred professional would want to be creating a career out of survivor jobs. You see, those jobs are called survivor jobs for a purpose. Because they are not meant for thoroughbred professionals. They are not meant for, like multiple degree holders. Like degree, you have your BSc, you have the first degree, you have the second degree. They are not meant for them. That's why they are called survival jobs. They are brown collar jobs, not meant for people who are white collar. So hustlers mentality turned people to wanting to be carving out careers, out of survival jobs. You can't make a career out of survival jobs. In survival jobs, there is no or little career progression. If you are an attendant, at a store, for example, and you come in, they make you, maybe a till attendant, right? The max you will attain will perhaps be, maybe a manager of the cashiers or store manager. And this is the same you who was a top level person before you get, maybe not even top, maybe a mid-level person. It's important for every immigrant to know the difference between a career, picking a job in your field, in your career path, and picking a survival job. Is there anything wrong with survival jobs? Absolutely nothing. Should an immigrant do them when they come? Oh yes, do them. You know what? For a place like Canada, for example, survival jobs would even help you to have the almighty Canadian experience, on your resume. But for me, it becomes a bother when I see multiple degree holders trying to build career, trying to have a career goal, trying to relegate their life, based on survival jobs. Number 5 thing that I know impede career advancement of professionals in Canada: wrong association. Wrong association. I'll tell you what. Some time ago, my wife and I went to say hello to a particular family. And when we got there, we got talking, and all of those. And the wife said to me that she was told that as an immigrant, that the best job you can get would be a minimum paying job. Minimum pay in Canada or in Saskatchewan should be about $11 or $13 thereabout. I'm not too sure, but I know that it's nothing exceeding $13. You see, I was gobsmacked. You know why I was gobsmacked? Because that person only sold her own experience to the immigrant. See, take this word of caution from me very carefully. If you ever plan to immigrate, the moment you land, be very mindful of your association. The ones who are stuck on survival jobs will tell you it is the best you can get. See, people can only help your life, counsel you, advise you, encourage you based on their own level of exposures and experiences. You get what I'm saying now? So if you continue to frolic with those people who are not driven, who are not passionate, fully passionate about their career, they will sell to you that the best you can get is all these very low-level jobs that you can do. Because that is the same level that they are. Nobody can give you what they don't have. I cannot sell to you an experience that I don't have. So you get in, for example, and you begin to hear, don't apply for that job, oh no, you don't have Canadian experience. Oh, don't do that. You know what? Maybe you should just look for a small level, an entry-level job first. It's a lie from the pit of hell. As you are pursuing, jobs in your field, commensurate with your exposure and your experiences and your qualifications, also look for the ones that will just give you a foot in the door. But that you resign your life or your fate to those kind of jobs, These 5 things that I've shared with you this moment are the things that I know impede, career advancement of professionals in a place like Canada and in a foreign land for that matter. For those of you who are just connecting, let me run through them very quickly again. Number 1 is lack of foresight or planning. Number 2 is overestimation or underestimation of expectations. Number 3 is lack of confidence. Number 4 is the hustler mentality. They need to create a career out of survival jobs. Number 5 is wrong association. These are the 5 reasons that I know that solid professionals sometimes they lose track or they lose sight, of their career advancement when they get to a foreign land. So I will share on this part. Let me go with you. I think I'm going to make this session actually a 2-part series. So maybe mid-May, I'll do part 2 of advancing your career in Canada as an immigrant. Okay? Categories of career people. These are the categories of career people that I know of or that I found. Number 1, the no direction. You know who the no direction are? They're doing pretty well where they were coming from. They have licenses, they have certifications. Sometimes they even have multiple degrees. But you know the truth. When they get here, no direction. You know what I mean by that? Anything goes. Or, I don't know what to do. I don't know, maybe I should continue my career path. Or maybe I should jettison it. You have that category of people. That's number 1. Number 2 category of people that you have are those I call the career fatigue. Those experiencing career fatigue. What do I mean by career fatigue? You've done so much in a place like Nigeria or whatever country you're migrating from. Maybe you've spent like 10 years, 12 years in that field and you're just tired. I've seen many people, who will say, for example, bankers in Nigeria, would come to a place like this and say, no, I don't want to pursue a career in banking anymore. That's career fatigue. Some are, maybe IT professionals, and they get to a place like this and they say, no, I want to switch. Some are customer service representative, and they come to a place like this and say, no, I don't want to do anything customer service anymore. I think I want to pursue a career, in nursing. So you have those experiencing a career fatigue. Now, those experiencing career fatigue are the class of people, who will then, begin to think about career transition or career change. I think on the next episode, I will focus more on these categories of career people. I'll focus more on them very well. Number 3 kind of people, career people that I know, again, are the hustlers. Those with the hustling mentality. I remember someone landed here and a friend from back home in Nigeria, introduced this person to me and asked this person to reach out to me. And he indeed reached out to me. You landed yesterday, and today you were already asking me, so what jobs are on ground? What can you do? What can I do? What can I do? Me, I don't live my life that way. I didn't leave my home country to come here to be a sufferhead. No. I did not come here. The Lord did not send me here to have an hustler's mentality. The Lord did not send me here, to be thinking that my life depends on what I can get from what I make. So I told him, I said, guy, you've got to calm down. When people land, and I'm privileged, to meet with them, one of the things I say to them all the time is, take a break for at least 2 weeks after you landed. Don't think about job search. Don't think about your career. Think about how you can offload, all the pains, all the hurts, all the stress of immigration, offload your own country's mentality, and install, grab in, the reality of things around here. Sink in, take in, immerse, swim in the new environment or society that you're in. I've realized that when many people come and they say, yeah, straight up, they want to begin to look for a job. See, they get so frustrated very, very easily. I've seen this happen repeatedly. They get so frustrated very, 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 very easily. You know one of the reasons? They did not uninstall. I love Nigeria so much. Imagine you're coming from a place like Nigeria. You're coming to Canada, for example. And you landed here. The moment you landed here, you began to think that, oh, so what's going on here? So what am I going to do now? So how do I get a job? So what job can I apply for and all those stuff? No. When you leave a place like Nigeria, you come over here, you need to uninstall certain things. Thinking, thought, mindset, conditioning. You know, that Nigeria has reconditioned you. All those, I don't want to go into all that right now. You need to uninstall all those things. Clear your head, become free, become light, become clean. Then sharpen your focus and say, now I'm here. What's next for me? And the last but not the least category of people, career people that I know, are those who are career driven, or those that I call the career enthusiasts. These are the people who truly, desire to advance their career. Let me give you a good note. Let me give you a good news. The good news is that it's not everyone here that is suffering. And everyone here is not an hustler. I'm talking about immigrants. Everyone here is not doing multiple jobs. Not everyone. There are classes of people doing exceptionally well, at par, and most times above par with their Canadian colleagues and Nigerians. Sometimes blacks. The beautiful thing about this society is that it gives you wing to fly. How high you're going to fly or how high you're going to soar will depend on how high you are willing to stretch your wings. If you are like this, to soar will become a challenge. As it is everywhere and anywhere in the world, nothing good comes easy. I say this all the time. When I'm going for interviews here, I prepare for it as though I were going in to go sit for an MBA. You know one of the reasons why I do that? Because of the color of my skin. If my contemporary, someone who has the same certifications and qualifications as I do, all right, who is white, will study, say, 3 hours or prepare for 3 hours for an interview. Me, I should be able to prepare minimum 6 hours for the same interview. You know why? Because of the color of my skin. Before many even hear me out, they've already judged me. So when we got here, and I felt, okay, at this point, I cannot leave my family here, and go back to Nigeria, which was my original plan. And I said, okay, so let me look for jobs, in my field as an HR professional around here. I was only praying for opportunity to just be heard. They call it a foot in the door. Just let me sit down with you and just hear me out. But I did multiple things before that could happen. You know what I did? Prior to coming to Canada, I'd researched everything human resources researchable in Nigeria before I found myself here. I was already in talks with a licensing professional body here called CPHR. Before I landed here. So after I landed, what I did was to submit my portfolio, my profile, and request, for associate membership. That gave me a foot in the door, for so many things. Because in my career planning, which I told you earlier on, that many people don't plan for, they don't have career plans. So they get to a place like this, and they'll just see that things are not panning out the way you should pan out. No. The moment you fail to plan, you have planned to fail. When I was doing my career planning and my career mapping, I discovered that as an HR professional, you cannot get a mid-level and senior level position without a CPHR designation. Even if you don't have the license yet, you must at least say CPHR review. So before you move, if your career, if you're so passionate about it, if you don't desire to switch career, even if you desire to switch career, research, Google, ask many of the things you need to do when you get here in respect to your career. So that when you get here, you would have plans already in place. What you then begin to do is execution. When you get here, it's not the time to plan. No, because by that time, it may be a bit too late. What do I mean by it being a bit too late? The society around here has a way of feeding you what it desires if you don't know what you want. These, some of the reasons why many professional immigrants are not thriving, in a foreign land. I think I should give room for 1 or 2 questions. If you have questions, could you please send them in right now? And after then, I think I can call it a night. I just wait for questions. If anyone has any question, please only ask me questions relating to career in immigration, all right? If you have any question, you may please just send them in at this point. Maybe you're confused, you don't know. I should also say that maybe next edition of Immigrant and Thrive, I'm going to be sharing on those. There are certain fields in a place like Canada where you cannot work except you get a localized license or certification or qualification. In some other instances, some of the things that you have, some of the licenses or certifications that you have, they are transferable. For example, you can be a doctor in Africa and want to start practicing as a doctor here. No, you'd have to go through the process. You can be a nurse in Africa, a place like Africa, for example, and say you have your license, you've already spent so many years working in Luth or doing this or doing that. Those things are good, but you must then be able, to get licenses, that are relevant here. Okay, so I can say a question. If you study public administration in Nigeria University, can I use it to work in Canada? You see, now that's the beautiful thing about Canada. Sometimes, or most times actually, what you study does not matter. But if you study, say, public administration, and you want to go into a field, say like HR, like human resources, for example, it will make sense, just like I said earlier on, for you to have CPHR designation, or for you to go take a short course, maybe a certificate course or a diploma course, in HR. It would help you. It will broaden your knowledge, and it will help your understanding a very great deal. Okay, so whatsoever thing you studied, provided you have experiences in that field, and okay, so let me quickly also even share this. You see, for those of you who have invested, say, about 5 years, at least 5 years in a particular field, back wherever place you're, connected or watching from, I want to say that don't say because you want to travel, because you want to immigrate, please don't trash the 5 years that you've labored for. It's a lot. Except you are experiencing career fatigue, like I shared earlier on, you are tired of that field and you want to switch. But please, don't let anyone tell you your 5 years experience is nonsense. It is nothing. It is not. I hope that question I hope that I answered that brother very well, in respect to his question. Great point raised. Can we speak about interview and application tips at your next session? Okay, thank you, Duchess. I would note that right now. Interview and application tips. Interview and application tips. Okay, so talking about interview and application tips, especially now that you're not even here, I may share on that in subsequent editions of Immigrant and Thrive. But see, I also want you to know, I know people in Nigeria who got jobs in Nigeria, then used it, the job offer. I'm talking legally now, legally. And I'm talking about 6 digits paying salary. 6 digits. 6 digits. If you're watching me, you're an IT person, you're a business analyst, you are what do you call yourself? Business analyst, IT professional, software, and all those stuff. I know that it doesn't come often. I know. But I just want you to know that it happens. People do. Okay? Don't let anybody make you feel it's not possible. This person says, I studied engineering, but I haven't got a job in Nigeria. I've been into business. What do you think I should do relating to my career? Well, I cannot tell you what to do because I really don't know you like that. And I cannot give a blanket, recommendation to you. What you will do will depend on so many things. Chief of which will be, what exactly do you want out of life? Okay, so you may need to get a career coach, okay, and speak with the person. It may also have to do with your interests, all right? The expertise that you have in some of the things that you've already done. These are the things that will determine, what career path, that you should pursue. It will not be right for me. It will be unprofessional of me, to tell you, okay, so because you studied X and Y and you've been into business, so you should go do this. No, I need more info, more detail about you to be able to make such judgment. All right? Thank you. I'm looking at questions. This person says, is there anything like the Canadian CV format? Oh, yes. Oh, yes. There is a Canadian CV format. Okay, so very quickly, let me tell you. If you're watching, you can go to indeed.ca. Indeed is spelled INDEED.ca. CA is Canada. Indeed.ca. That's a resume search and job search engine or platform. All right? Many of the things, we use in Nigeria, like on your resume in Nigeria, things that you put, your sex, I'm a male, I'm a female, you don't need those things here. In Nigeria, you put sex, you put date of birth, you put state of origin, all those nonsense, that they tell us to put in our resumes. Those things they consider them racist here. They consider them they are bias triggers, if I may use that word, okay? They are bias triggers. Here in Canada, you cannot or you should not be denied a job because of your age. You know how in Nigeria they'd say, sometimes all those recruiters, they would even tell you, a male senior engineer is needed. In Canada, you don't try that nonsense. You cannot deny anybody a job based on their sex or their sexual orientation. It's equal pay, equal job that is obtainable around here. Okay? I have banking experience and I'm currently studying for CBAP. What opportunities are there for business analysts? There are tons of opportunities, okay? I would suggest and recommend that you should do your own research yourself too. I know that there are a couple of, programs that you could do here too. I know they do things like ITIL, CBAP, and some project management, stuff like that, Prince 2, PMP, and what have you. All right? I think I'll just take one more last one after this and we'll call it a night till the next edition. This question by Playboy Joel says, is all this truck driver a hustle job or a job immigrant can depend on to make it in Canada? It depends. There are no hustle jobs. I did not declare or describe any job hustle jobs. I talked about having the hustler's mentality. Okay? Here in Canada, there is something called dignity of labor. My cleaner in the office is not different from me. The difference may be in terms of our status, and I must not drop that on his face or her face. All right? So there is no job with the designation of hustler's job. Nothing like that. The cashiers, the whatever, even those that are called survival jobs. For survival jobs, for example, some people love it. Okay? For example, a Canadian who has only grade 6, grade 8, that's like your secondary school equivalent. When you are searching for those jobs, they'll tell you school leaving certificate or college certificate required or grade 8 required. You can say grade 8 required, but you have multiple degrees. Then you now get that kind of a job and you then want to be building career in it. That's where I have a problem. Okay? There is dignity of labor. Okay? Truck drivers, they make money here. If that's your career, if that's what you've chosen to do with your life, then focus on it and do it well. All right? So let me see if I have one more. Okay, so since there are no more questions, I think at this point I should just say thank you all for joining me at yet another edition of Immigrate and Thrive with Peter. I want to encourage you to please follow me. Go on YouTube, search Lofty Heights Christian Center, subscribe to our YouTube channel. Go on Instagram, search at my Lofty Heights, follow. And there is a platform right now, Instagram handle for Immigrate and Thrive. Search Immigrate and Thrive, okay, on Instagram, and also click the follow button. You may want to turn on the notification bell. I'm going to see you again on another edition of Immigrate and Thrive, maybe in 2 weeks' time. I want to try and make this twice a month as much as I can, all right? God bless you all, and I celebrate you. Thank you so much for your time. God bless you. Bye for now.